Open the Systems Manager and on the first tab, locate the detection's properties. Create 3 new detections: Enemy Sight, Player Detection, and Break Aggro. Enemy Sight is the line of sight your enemies will possess when looking in the direction of the player. Player Detection is what Enemy Sight will use to determine if they've spotted the player or not. Finally, Break Aggro is the distance the player must travel before the enemy gives up their pursuit and resumes their patrol. While still in the Systems Manager, click on the tab labeled Events/States and create 2 new events. One labeled Sighted and the other Break Aggro. Now click on the Models tab and select the hero. Add the 2 events we just created to the player, Sighted and Break Aggro. In the Sighted event, add a Send Event command and change the detection ID to Player Detection and make sure the Sender Can't Receive option is checked. Then set Event User to Sighted. In the Break Aggro event, add another Send Event command, this time set the target to All and the Event User to Break Aggro. Click on the Common Reactions tab and create a new common reaction. Label it Escape and add a Change Variables command. Create a new variable, label it Escape Variable and set it equal to 1. We will need this later. Now create your enemy and give it 2 more states for a total of 3. Change the Hero Action event into Hero Touch. Add a Change Variable command that sets our Escape variable equal to 0. Underneath, add a Start a Battle command. Set your troop ID and battle map properties to however you want, but only leave the Allow Escape option checked. Once you've hit OK, 2 conditions should appear under the Battle command. In the If-When condition, add a condition that checks if the escape variable is equal to 1 and check the Add Else when conditions do not apply option. Add a Wait command of 1 second in the top part, then add a Change State command in the Else section. Change your enemy state to State 3 and make sure the enemy graphic is blank. In the If Lose section, simply add a Game Over command. Set the speed of your enemy on State 1 to low, then copy all the commands we just made and switch to State 2. Set the enemy's speed to very low and paste your commands in the Empty Hero Touch event. Add a property to your enemy and label it Sighted, set the initial value to number and leave it at 0. Be sure to switch back to State 1. Create 3 new timed events for your enemy and leave their values as is. In the first event, add a Send Event command, set the detection ID to Enemy Sight and check the Sender Can't Receive option. Then set the Event User to Sighted. In the second timed event, add a condition that checks if the enemy's property is equal to 0. Add a Move Object command inside the condition and set it to move this object 1 square in a random direction, then add a Wait command and set it for half a second. In the last timed event, add 2 conditions. One that checks if the enemy's property is less than 0 and another that checks if it's greater than 1. Add a Modify property to both, the less than setting the enemy's property equal to 0, and the greater than setting it equal to 1. Now add 2 more events to the enemy, Sighted and Break Aggro. While in State 1, we're going to leave Break Aggro blank. For Sighted, add a condition command that checks if the enemy's property is equal to 0. Then add a Change State command that switches the state to State 2 and a Modify property command that sets the enemy's property equal to 1. Now copy over all your commands from State 1 over to State 2. However, we'll be changing a few things. First, leave Sighted empty and add another condition command to Break Aggro. Have it check if the enemy's property is equal to 1. Then add a Change State command to switch the enemy's state back to 1 and a Modify property command that sets the enemy's property equal to 0. Inside the first timed event, change the Send event so that the detection ID is set to Break Aggro with the Sender Can't Receive option checked. Also set the Event User to Break Aggro. In the second timed event, change the Move Object command from Move 1 random square to Move 1 step to Hero and delete the Wait command. Make sure it's set to Step or your enemy will move awkwardly. The last timed event you can leave as is. Make sure all the Block Hero when reaction options are left unchecked, or you'll lock yourself out of your controls. Open the Data's Manager, select the Skills tab, and locate the Escape skill. In the Effects area, add a Call Common Reaction command, and select our Escape Common Reaction. Then press OK. Now as you traverse your map, enemies will begin to chase you when you're in their line of sight.
Just a quick reminder, if you'd like to help this channel grow, please consider reading my first attempt at a novel on Kindle Vella. Chapters read, likes, comments, and favorites really help me out. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, or leaving a comment down below. This has been Sid from Digital Container, and I hope to see you next time.